morning, our invited guests. Good morning, distinguished members of the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered. We're just going to start with our opening formalities. Our opening formalities, we have a national prayer, which incidentally is the third stanza of the national anthem. We'll take our pledge, and then we'll reaffirm our code of conduct. I'll please request you to rise. Please, can we together recite the third stanza of the national anthem? O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. The pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor, and so help me God. Then we're going to reaffirm our code of conduct. Our code of conduct will be reaffirmed by members of the Institute. I think it's shared on the screen. And so when you say I, please, I request that you mention your name. That I, Christiana Tako, as a professional manager, will put service above self and will ever seek to find and employ more efficient and more economical ways of getting things done. That I, Christiana Tako, as a professional manager, accept the most scrupulous and transparently honest and ethical process of thought for all decisions in my daily work, and be myself free of any fraudulent and/or corrupt practices, and within my scope of authority, treat all persons as being equal and refuse to give special favors or privileges to anyone. So help me God. Thank you very much. Please, may we be seated. I know that some of our fellows, our council members, have joined us online. So I would like to recognize them. I'll start with the Deputy President, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired, FNIM, our National Treasurer, Dr. Raymond Iheanacho, FNIM, our Registrar and Chief Executive, who is here physically, Mrs. Taiwo Olushesi, MNIM. Let me respectfully recognize and welcome the special guest of honor, Honorable Ayodele Olawande, the Honorable Commissioner of Youth Development, here represented by Ms. Funke Lawani. You're welcome, ma'am. Our guest of honor and keynote speaker, our own member, His Excellency Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, who always stands by us, ably, I would say, represented by one of the commissioners of this state, the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation and Employment, Lagos State, Mr. Akinyemi Ajibotafe. You're welcome, sir. When we have occasions like this, I always want to remember and appreciate the contributions of our past presidents, some are founding fathers, who have taken pains to ensure that NIM gets to the level we are today. Some of them are online. We really don't expect all of them to be here physically, but they always support us by their presence. A number of them are online, and I will, crave your indulgence, use this opportunity to recognize them and appreciate them. I will start with the most senior. In NIM, we appreciate hierarchy. We will start with Dr. Michael Omolayole, FNIM, CNIM. Olola F.O. Ogunlano, FNIM, CNIM. His Excellency Dr. Christopher Kolade, CON, FNIM, CNIM. Mrs. M.R.A. Adeleke, OON, FNIM, CNIM. Mr. A.A. Adenubi, FNIM, CNIM. Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, FNIM, CNIM, MFR. Dr. Mrs. Sally N. Aduku Bolujoko, OON, FNIM, CNIM. Asiwaju Dr. Michael Olawale Cole, CON, MFR, FNIM, CNIM. Dr. Nelson UO Uwaga, MNI, FSPN, FNIM, CNIM. Emeritus Professor Munzali Jibril, FNIM, CNIM, OFR. Professor Olukunle Iyonda, FNIM, CNIM. Mrs. Pat E. Anabo, FNIM. We have in our midst the Young Managers Summit panel discussants, and I want to thank you immensely for accepting to participate in this epoch-making event. I welcome you all. We also have the Young Managers Competition panel of judges. They have always done a great job each time we have opportunity to undertake this event. We have panel of judges who do a thorough job, and that's why at the end of it you will know that the results will be credible and accepted by all, because these young men and women who emerge winners, they go places. Distinguished council members, those who are present here and those who are online, fellows of the Institute, MDs and CEOs of NIM corporate members and other companies and organizations, respected members of the Institute, management and staff of the Institute, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me not forget the contestants. I can see our future leaders. In fact, I call them today's leaders. Youth corpers, you're all here. We recognize and appreciate you. I can see a number of young men and women in this hall. We have so much hope in you. We depend on you. And we believe that you should be able to take our place when we disengage from here. We expect that you do us proud as you take over the leadership of this country in due course. I'm always very happy when I'm in your midst, because I know that there's hope for tomorrow for this country. I welcome you all. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you all to the maiden edition of the Young Managers Summit and the grand finale of our Great Institute's 2024 edition of Young Managers Competition. Thank you all for taking the time to be here to witness this auspicious event. First, I would like to specially appreciate the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency Dr. Kadiri Obafemi Hamzat, MNIM, represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation and Employment, Lagos State, Mr. Akinyemi Ajigbotafe, for graciously accepting to declare the summit open and deliver the keynote address. Thank you, Your Excellency, for identifying with and supporting your institute. Before I continue, pardon me, my attention has just been drawn to the fact that we have a very great partner. This organization has partnered with NIM for a very long time, and it's an omission if I don't have this name mentioned. I want to recognize and welcome Major General J.E. Osifo, Commandant, Nigerian Army School of Finance and Administration. Welcome, sir. I'm sure you walked in when I had come up here. Maybe that was why I didn't see you. I'm so sorry about that. Welcome. We are happy to have you in our midst. I can see you came with your men, and many of them, I guess, they are all members, because I know that you don't relent in ensuring that your members, your workers, your officers and men are great managers, and that's why you're doing well. Welcome, sir. Many thanks to the Honorable Minister of Youth Development, Comrade Ayodele Olawande, represented by Ms. Funke Lawani, for playing the role of special guest of honor. We are encouraged to see that you are always personally involved in efforts by well-meaning organizations like ours that are committed to taking youth development and empowerment to the next level. Going forward, we hope to find more ways to partner with your ministry with a view to placing the issues that affect the nation's youth in the front burner. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for coming. We are honored by your presence. This year, in alignment with its mandate to promote and foster youth development and managerial skills, the Institute, with the approval of Council, has broadened the scope of the Young Managers Competition, transforming it into a more comprehensive program. As a result, the Young Managers Summit has been launched, now encompassing the Young Managers Competition as part of a larger initiative. The summit brings together budding and emerging managers to engage in dialogue on critical corporate and management topics, issues, and to propose forward-thinking solutions. Delegates are meticulously selected from leading corporations, prestigious tertiary institutions, and prominent youth organizations across the nation to address the summit's central theme, which is harnessing the gains in talent exchange, a dialogue on how the diaspora community can meaningfully contribute to Nigeria's growth. The Young Managers Summit is a corporate social responsibility initiative of the Nigerian Institute of Management Charter towards young youth development and empowerment. The objectives of the program include the provision of a platform for young managers to showcase their managerial skills, strategic thinking, and develop innovative approaches to problem solving. Others are fostering networking opportunities and facilitating knowledge exchange among participants, industry experts, and established professionals, promoting collaboration, teamwork, and professional development among young managers by engaging them in challenging activities, as well as recognizing and rewarding outstanding achievements of young professionals who have contributed to the field of management. The Young Managers Competition, on the other hand, is an annual competition established in 1974 to encourage practicing young graduate managers between the ages of 25 and 40 years, endowed with creative and research ability to hone their skills in conducting independent, in-depth research. The competition fosters analytical and original thinking. Over the years, the Young Managers Competition has created a crop of young men and women who have distinguished themselves in conducting studies in different areas of human endeavor. The participation and content quality of the competition is not in doubt, as some past winners of the competition have gone on to head some of the nation's frontline organizations. Some of the past winners of this competition who have got to the pinnacle of their managerial careers include Mr. Festus Odimegu, a former managing director of Nigerian Breweries PLC, Mr. Adebayo Jimoh, a former managing director of Odua Group, and Dr. Lucy Newman, the immediate past managing director of Financial Institutions Training Center. Others are Dr. Akin Ogumbiyi, Chairman of Mutual Benefits Assurance PLC, and Mr. Samuel Omotosho, Registrar, Chrisland University, Abeokuta, Ogun State, among others. Mr. Omotosho is here. Could you please rise so that the contestants will see that we mean business here? Thank you for honoring our invitation to be here. I think his was 2007. And he was complaining to me that when he won, that what we gave to him was quite little. And I told him that at that time it meant a lot, even in this country. But we are happy that you were able to, at least all we did was to inspire you, motivate you to move forward. And we are very happy with the accomplishments that you recorded so far. Thank you very much for coming. The competition was repackaged 7 years ago to make it truly intellectual, relevant, contemporary, and credible. With the current approach, the Young Managers Competition has now assumed the toga of a reality show. This year, over 150 young managers, men and women, obtained application forms and participated in the zonal heats held in the 6 zones of the Institute across the Federation. At the end of the zonal heats, the top 9 candidates were then selected via a video presentation assessment and brought to Lagos for the final stage of the competition. The contestants, after rigorous and painstaking tasks in the last 2 days, are up for today's grand finale. You could see them well dressed, professionally dressed. Please can you rise and let's just give honor to whom honor is due. We're so proud of all of you. As far as I'm concerned, you are all winners already, because we have observed that even when, you know, we have a runner-up, we have other people, as far as you came to the final stage, you are already a winner and you do us proud. Congratulations, young people. Please say thank you. The contestants, like I said, after rigorous and painstaking tasks in the last 2 days, are up for today's grand finale. The focus of the competition this year is diversity, inclusivity, and equity in the workplace. What really matters for young professionals. I would like to appreciate and thank our panel of judges and select panelists for taking the time to participate in the entire process that has thrown up the finalists for today's grand finale. Your participation in this initiative confers impeccable integrity and stature to the competition. It is pertinent to mention that going forward, approval has been given by Council of NIM to expand the scope and duration of the Young Managers Competition in order to make it the best intellectually based and most sought after management reality show in the country. The star prize for the winner of this year's competition is 2 million naira, while the first and the second runners-up will be rewarded with 1,500,000 naira and 1 million naira, respectively. The rest of the participants will equally receive consolation prizes. But like I said, it's not all about the prize now. It's what this competition would have done to you, to your psychic. We are here to motivate you and to encourage you to be the best you can be. May I, at this juncture, express our profound gratitude to the individuals and corporate organizations that have partnered with us this year to ensure the success of this all-round, all-important initiative. In the same breath, I would like to enjoin those desirous of partnering with the Institute in future editions of Young Managers Summit and Young Managers Competition to please come on board. Without doubt, these events, which are solely focused on propelling the nation's youth to greatness, are very good platforms for individuals and corporate bodies to showcase their goods and services to a very vibrant active, outgoing, and upwardly mobile section of the society. Indeed, there is no gainsaying the fact that partnering with the Institute in this regard will translate to more exposure, awareness, and patronage. A relationship that is guaranteed to be a mutually rewarding one. Once again, while I appreciate all of you for your distinguished presence here, let us relax and enjoy this intellectually stimulating event. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Mrs. President, for that engaging address. And for our youths in the house, like you've heard, the scope for the program is going to be expanded going forward. And to participate, which is a very good thing for you and for me, if not that I am a staff and an internal person, it's a very good thing to engage in. They can tell you all they've gone through and the benefits you're already seeing being part of this competition. So I would like to enjoin you to please pick up a membership form if you're not a member already, even as a graduate or an undergraduate or a serving youth corps, to participate in the next editions we'll be having. Going forward on the program, I'm going to be introducing our guests in the house. You already met our President and Chairman of Council, Dr. Mrs. Christiana V.N. Atako, FNIM, NPOM. I'd like to also recognize our Deputy President, Commodore Abimbola O. Ayuba, retired, FNIM. Our National Treasurer, Dr. Raymond Nneji Iheanacho, FNIM, and our Amiable Registrar, Mrs. Taiwo Ganias Olushesi, MNIM, in the house. I'd like you to wave, organize yourself. Can we please clap for her? Thank you very much. I'd like to also recognize our special guest of honor, Honorable Ayodele Olawande, Honorable Minister for Youth Development, ably represented by Barrister Funke Lawani. And also our guest of honor and keynote speaker for the day, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, Deputy Governor of Lagos State, ably represented by Mr. Akinyemi Ajigbotafe, Honorable Commissioner, Wealth Creation and Employment. I also like to recognize our panelists for today, Dr. Ayodele Patrick Aderiwale, MFR, Chairman, Just Right. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Fibian Ifeadi, Executive Director, Corporate Services, Etana PLC. Thank you, ma'am. It's good to have you here. Elder David Kehinde Samuel, CEO, founder, ProConnect Global Education and Global Mobility FinTech Co., ably represented by Mrs. Grace Olive, the co-founder and head of sales of ProConnect. You're welcome. Also, I'd like to recognize Dr. Akiode Akinwale, FNIM, lead partner, AA Akiode and Co. Thank you, sir. I also like to recognize these following persons. You would, as we go on, know who they are to this event. Mrs. Temilola Olatoye, Chief Accountant and Head of Department, Cashbook and Reconciliation Management, Yaba College of Technology. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Emmanuel Atako Ora, FNIM, Managing Partner, J4 Partners. Thank you, sir. Mr. Sami Damelda, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, SBG Insurance Brokers Limited. Thank you, sir. Mr. Makonjola Olayinka, General Manager, AB Offshore Marine. Pardon me, Mrs. Thank you, ma'am. I'd also like to recognize our past presidents and our distinguished council members, fellows of the Institute, respected members of the Institute, head of institutions here present. I'd also like to recognize the NYSC Lagos State Coordinator, Mrs. Christiana Samwang, who is being represented by Mrs. Ike David Lydia Eleojo, Assistant Director. You're welcome, madam. Also like to recognize Major General J.E. Osifo, Commandant, Nigerian Army School of Finance and Administration, NASFA. Thank you again. Okay. Moving forward, we're going to be having our address by the special guest of honor to be taken by Barrister Funke Lawani.
I bring you greetings from the Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Mr. Ayodele Olawande, who unavoidably could not be here present because of national assignment at hand. It's an honor to speak to you on behalf of the Minister on a topic so close to the hearts of young professionals: diversity, inclusivity, and equity in the workplace. Today's young professionals are entering the workforce with a strong sense of purpose, seeking not only careers but environment that reflects their values. They value diversity in all its forms, understanding the diverse teams encompassing various backgrounds, skills, perspective, and experience are essential for a thriving workplace. Diversity isn't just a metric or goal. It's a lifeblood of innovation and adaptability. By bringing unique perspective together, we create a workplace that is not only dynamic, but equipped to solve complex challenges. However, diversity alone is not enough. Inclusivity is where diversity finds its power to young professionals. Inclusivity means creating an environment where they feel valued, respected, and genuinely welcomed, not simply present. An inclusive workplace actively fosters space where individuals from all backgrounds feel empowered to share their ideas, knowing they'll be heard. Young professionals want to work in organizations that prioritize open communication, where everyone feels they have a voice and are an integral part of the team. Equity is also critical and vital to young professionals. This means more than equality. It's about recognizing and addressing systemic barriers that may hinder certain groups from achieving their full potential. They look for fair policies, mentorship, and development opportunities that help level the playing field and reward merit over privilege. So I'd like to give example on this. Coming from different backgrounds, we should be able to include oneself. Coming from different ethnic groups, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and we have different more ethnic groups. We should be able to involve ourselves, that's the employees now, in the workplace, especially in the environment. I'll give an example of if a Yoruba person is working in, let's say, Kaduna. I suppose the dress down, not like the dress kaftan. Most of the workplace, they wear kaftan to work. And you should be able to involve yourself and include yourself in their, let's say, dressing system. And they will feel that you're part of them, and they will want to include you and listen to whatever opinion you have to bring. I'll give an example based on the employers now. On Kodak Films. Kodak Films in 1975 used to be their bulk income comes from sales of film. But in 1975, a young, vibrant staff, Stephen Sassin, introduced another innovation to them, that's digital film, but it was rejected. Maybe based because he was a younger person, and because of the management rejected his innovation. And of course, he was sad. And he went ahead and introduced that innovation to Sony Films. And Sony Films made a lot of money from that. Sony Films was the biggest competitor to Kodak Film as at that time. And they were able to make a whole lot of money. In 2012, Kodak Film went into bankruptcy. They filed bankruptcy, and that was how they went into extinction. And in 2013, it was acquired by a spin-off company, Kodak Harris, in 2013. So what I'm saying is that we should be able to allow the younger ones, that's the employers now, to allow the younger ones to be heard, which comes under equity, fair hearing, to be heard and not just put aside because they are young, to hear their innovation, because these young, vibrant people have so many things in them that they really want to bring out, and it's only when they're heard that you can understand what they're saying, but not just put them aside because they are young and just coming. In fostering diversity, inclusivity, and equity, we cultivate an environment where every young professionals can thrive and reach their potential. These values are not only morally right, but crucial for attracting, retaining, and inspiring the next generation of leaders. As we look to the future, let us embrace these values. Let us build workplaces that reflect the richness of our societies, where every young professional, regardless of who they are, can thrive, contribute, and feel proud of where they work. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Funke Lawani, for that opening address. To show equity, I think I was in error. I need to recognize our participants in the house. Let's preach. Let's practice what we preach. Before I get to that, I'd like to also recognize a few persons. Mrs. Ibironke Famakinwa, Director, Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment, also in attendance. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Rotimi Adedu, MNIM, Chairman, Unilike Chapter. Thank you, sir. Engineer Adigun Ibrahim Olalekon, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos Chapter Chairman as well. I'd also like to recognize our participants in the house. If you're from NYSC Lagos, please, let's raise up our hands or clap for yourselves. Can we make it louder? You're applauding yourselves, so please. Thank you. Mountaintop University. Thank you. Our participants from Yaba Tech. Thank you so much. And National Youth Council. Thank you very much for that. I'd like to invite our keynote speaker for today, ably represented by Mr. Akinyemi Ajibotafe, Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation and Employment, to the stage for his keynote address.
Quite interesting that NIM is still keeping it up with the youth. Over 2 decades ago, when I was 7, and they brought this NIM to us, and for us, the training and all. And I can remember how we were so excited. And today, I'm standing here before you as a commissioner. So our youths, be encouraged. Don't give up. Whatever you learn from NIM, take it as an opportunity for you to grow. the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, which I'm here representing. And it is an honor for me to stand before you today. I am pleased to join the President and Chairman of Council, Dr. Mrs. Christiana Atako. Thank you very much. Distinguished Council members, Registrar of Council, and all esteemed members of the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered at the 2024 edition of the Young Managers Summit. Indeed, I'm elated at the concept of the Young Managers Summit with the theme diversity, inclusivity, and equity in the workplace. What matters to young professionals? I understand that the 2024 Young Managers Summit is targeted at young management professionals from the age bracket of 25 and 40 years. Indeed, this is a noble venture that reflects our administration's Team Plus agenda in capacity development for our youth and providing a conducive environment for them to thrive in the society through mentored exposure to governance and public service. The Lateef Jakande Leadership Academy was incubated by administration as a platform to prepare and ensure that our youth are adequately equipped and mentored to take up leadership roles in the public or private sector. The first cohort of the 30 academic fellows have graduated and are settled in various areas of their endeavor to contribute to the socio-economic growth and development of our society. The second cohort of 29 fellows are currently in session and have been showing very keen interest in understanding the dynamics of governance and policy development strategies in technology-driven world. In the corporate world, human assets are very critical to the effectiveness and success of the organization in achieving its set objectives. I congratulate all the participants that qualified to participate in the 2024 Young Managers Competition. I know that competition for the topmost laurel will begin. However, I will urge you to look at the bigger picture. It's not about now, but the future. Don't look down yourself. Be positive that I'm going somewhere. Yes, challenges will come. People want to discourage you. Challenges are about to happen in life. But as long as you're focused in life, you surely succeed. So always look at a bigger picture. You are prepared for higher executive responsibilities in a rapidly evolving world that is driven by technology and robotics today. Technology development has seen a reduction in the workforce on the factory floor because robotics have shifted the dynamics of the workplace. Managers have to contend with working with AI-related concepts, and this necessarily leads to human relations issues that affect the mental health of the staff. Very soon, we all know what is going on in the world. AI is taking over. Technology is taking over. IT is the in thing now. It's what is in vogue. As time goes on, we won't need human capacity anymore. People will be relying on technology. So today, you must look into the future. What can I do? You must think of self-development, and it starts from now. The manager has rise to the occasion and provide solutions to ensure continued productivity. As young managers, you have a lot to learn from your senior colleagues and mentors, because when it gets to a certain point, experience will count. You should not take the experience of your fathers, your leaders, for granted. Always look forward to somebody you look up to. Always make sure you have a mentor to guide you, and it's key in life. Because when it gets, okay, I've talked about that. We cannot afford to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There are some old-time management techniques that will always shed light on turning issues in the future. I urge you to relate with the others and learn from them. If you look around you today, some multinational corporations and other major commercial operations that employ thousands of people and where household names are no longer in existence. This is an eye-opener that change is constant. Therefore, you have to continue to update your knowledge and skills to remain relevant in the workplace. I'm sure that the Young Managers Competition 2024 will provide enough challenge to all participants to come up with templates that will enhance the workplace environment and ensure mental health of the workforce for maximum performance. Then in Zamfara, when I was serving copper, we didn't have the opportunity you have today. You have a competitive role to see how intelligent you are, lectures and exams. But today, it's highly competitive. People are reckoning with NIM. So this opportunity given to you, you should not take it for granted. See yourself as a CEO in whatever field you find yourself, and the Lord Almighty will be with you all. I encourage all participants to look beyond today's competition, but condition your mind to appreciate the shifting dynamics in the workplace and synergize with your colleagues to enhance your overall performance as a team player. The subject theme of this competition revolves around diversity, inclusivity, and equity. You have to imbibe the work ethics of your theme and contribute your own culture to ensure success in team objective. You are being prepared by this competition to appreciate every member of your team and the necessity to maintain unity and utilize the potential of every member to achieve overall team objective. Once again, I want to appreciate the President and Chairman of Council, Dr. Mrs. Christiana Atako, Council member, Registrar of Council at all Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered members for your diligence in upholding the integrity and professionalism of your institute. In particular, I appreciate the corporate sponsors who have provided the support needed to sustain the Young Managers Competition, and I urge more corporate organizations to rise to the occasion because it is a win-win situation for all parties concerned. I'm not meant to say this because I came here to represent my superior. But Ministry of Work Creation, we always look out for the youth. We always welcome ideas. We always look out to see how we can support you. From the tech world to vocational or whatever idea you have. The office is open. You can always knock on my door any day, anytime. Once again, I'd like to commend all participants, the Young Managers Competition, and urge you all to see it as a learning curve, as you pursue your career in management practice. Once again, I urge you to look at the bigger picture and the challenges and opportunities available to you. This is an opportunity for you to learn from the masters of the game and acquire meaningful mentorship in your choosing career path. I wish you all a fulfilling and enduring experience as the Young Managers Competition comes to a successful conclusion. Thank you and God bless you all.
All protocols duly observed. I'm here in the representative capacity on behalf of Vice Chancellor, Mountain Top University, Professor Elijah Ayolabi. My own name is Dr. Samuel Ayodele. We really want to convey the mind of our Vice Chancellor, who is a lover of youth and a progressive-minded individual who is always willing to identify with anything that is tantamount to the success of youth. So for NIM to be organizing this, we warmly congratulate both the participant and the institute organizing this, especially Dr. Mrs. Christiana Atako and your entire team. Congratulations. So we want to wish all the participants in this occasion a great success. Thank you. God bless all.
Thank you, sir. Next will be representatives of National Youth Council of Nigeria.
When I say build the youth, you say build the nation. Build the youth. My name is Engineer Adigun Ibrahim Olalekun from the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter, where I'm presently occupying the position of the chairman of the state. I'm indeed delighted to be here, and as far as the Youth Council is concerned, we are happy that the NIM is having something of this nature that addresses the concerns of young people. At the level of the Youth Council, we believed that the era of organizing empowerment programs alone, capacity building programs alone, that would only last for a period of maybe 3 or 6 months. But with what National Institute of Management is doing with young people by ensuring that you create young managers, we at the Youth Council have also thought it well to also have something we call the Lagos Youth Development Institute. Because you agree with me that Lagos State is the jackpot destination for all young persons in Nigeria. So as such, thank you. So as such, the Youth Council have huge responsibility to ensure that we cater and support Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu's Teams Plus agenda to continue to engage and interface with young people in the state. So and we believe that the NIM will partner with us as we commence the first cohort of our institute next year. And I also want to use this medium to appreciate Mr. Deputy Governor, ably represented by our performing Commissioner for Wealth Creation, for all they have been doing. Tomorrow, the Honorable Commissioner and his team are going to be commissioning a job center somewhere in Lagos State. And they are involving the Youth Council in such a way that we are also going to ensure that the young people on the streets at different junctions in Lagos State participate in programs and activities of that nature. So once again, thank you, NIM, for this opportunity. I want you to be rest assured that by next year, since we are aware of this, because our population was restricted, so by next year, we are going to have this place filled with members of the National Youth Council from across the 57 local governments, the 20 local government and 37 local council development areas. Thank you so much.
Next is representatives from National Youth Service Corps, NYSC.
I want to say good morning to us all. I am from the NYSC, representing my state coordinator, Mrs. Christiana, who is unavoidable. She prepared to be here. In fact, asking me to come here was a last-minute decision for her. So, please, she sends her regards to this gathering. I want to congratulate the president of the institute for organizing this. It's been going on, as we just discovered, but that we are here today, it's a great privilege and honor. I want to admonish the young stars for whom this summit and competition is targeted at, to have this opportunity. You heard the Honorable Commissioner. This has been going on, this partnership with NYSC has been going on for so many years now. And you heard him. He was a beneficiary of these institutes and the activities that they have brought forward. So, I want to congratulate you for this opportunity that you have. Please do not joke with it. It's like setting food before you. Sometimes you may not like the food, but just have a taste of it and you know that it is something that can go down your throat. The NIM has been doing a lot, and this initiative is applauded. Do not hide your talent. I think that's what this whole thing is all about. When you go out, as you are here now, do not hide whatever talent God has put in you, and the one that NIM is able to bring out in you. Do not hide it. Share ideas with your compatriots. I do not give up on Nigeria, even as old as I am. How about you? We will go and live. It's for you. So the earlier you accept the fact that this is where we belong and this is what we have to do, the better for this nation. So I congratulate those that will participate in the competition. You know, I'm congratulating you ahead. And I know that when you get there, you will not forget this day. I wish every one of us the best.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. Do not hide your talent. That struck me. Because we know in this new economy, in this new age that we are, every talent is making money. Every talent. So please, as we are already doing, do not hide your talent. If you're not clear about your talent, share with somebody. A vision written that, although yes, I'm aware of the fear of them stealing your idea, but someone that's stealing your idea cannot really present the idea like the owner of the idea. So please, like I say again, do not hide it. Share it. And if it's too heavy, patent it, then share it. That's you securing your ideas.
When I stepped into the hall, I recall that the president and chairman of council started by apologizing for starting late. And incidentally, I also came late myself. And she did say it's not characteristic of the council. And I can assure you, it's not characteristic either of a military officer. Talking about coming late, I recall my experience as a young officer growing up in the Nigerian Army. We used to have a commander who starts a parade and says we should fall in by 1000 hours. And you know what that means is that latest 09, the soldiers are on the parade ground, 09:30, the officers are on the parade ground. And you are waiting for the commander who says you should be there by 10. You are there, 1000 hours, we are still waiting for him. 10:30, we are waiting for him. 1100 hours, we are still waiting for him. 11:30, we are still waiting for him. And then at 12 o'clock, the commander strolls in. And the first thing he does is to call the whole parade to attention and says, gentlemen, synchronization of watches. By my time, it is 1000 hours. So the time I came in today was 1000 hours. The president and chairman of council, our special guest of honor, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, including, of course, our fantastic contestants and the members of the National Youth Service Corps. Good morning, everybody. I am Major General J.E. Osifo, Commandant of the Nigerian Army School of Finance and Administration. Ordinarily, the Nigerian Army, like you are all aware, we are presently mourning due to the untimely death of our Chief of Army Staff. So for that, I would have been unable to attend this event because there's a lot of activities going on and we are heading off to Abuja immediately for the funeral, which starts tomorrow. But because of the high regards we have for this institute. We not only came, I didn't send a representative, I chose to come myself. The relationship between the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered and the Nigerian Army started several years ago. Specifically, in the year 1982, we started the Nigerian Army Leadership Development Seminar. That seminar is meant for operational level managers of the Nigerian Army, operational level commanders in the Nigerian Army. That seminar is facilitated entirely by the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered. As at today, we have had 22 versions of that seminar, and we are still counting. That is to underscore the synergy between Nigerian Institute of Management and the Nigerian Army. Also, only a few years ago, a retired Major General was the president and chairman of council of this prestigious institution. And I'm talking of late Major General Iyonda Muraino. He incidentally was a past commandant of the prestigious Nigerian Army School of Finance and Administration, which I presently command. Now, I know what is going on in the minds of all these young people, our finalists and panelists, our youth corps members. I know several things are going on in your mind, and you are correct. And I know one of them, what is the relationship between the military and Nigerian Institute of Management? It is okay for you to wonder like that. Perhaps that is why she also forgot to introduce me when it was time. And for you particularly, my youth corps members, you represent the next crop of military officers that will be commissioned into the Nigerian Army, for those of you that will take interest in it. Many of the officers that have accompanied me here today were once youth corps members like you a few years ago. So the question is, what is the relationship between the Army and management? I'll tell you by asking a simple question. What is the first duty of a military officer? What is the first duty of a military officer? And if I throw the question open, I will have several answers from several different people. But the first duty of a military officer is leadership. Is leadership, to lead. Now, what are you leading as a military officer? You are leading the men, the equipment, the machines, the arms and ammunition, the materials, in a systemic coordination that will achieve corporate goal. Actually, when you are commissioned as an officer, having been a graduate, the least number of men you will lead are 36. Some of them as old as your fathers back home. And that is why management started from the Army. And that is why the Army and NIM are partners in progress. The theme of this year's competition, diversity, inclusivity, and equity. What next for young professionals, or what matters to young professionals? If I was to rewrite that topic or that theme, I would say diversity, inclusivity, equity, your reality as a Nigerian Army officer. If you want to see a practical application of diversity, equity, and inclusivity, look at this group of officers here. They represent everything you want to know about it. Look at me. That's what I have dealt with in the past 34 years of joining the army. On that note, I want to convey my heartfelt felicitations to the Nigerian Institute of Management, Chartered, and to reiterate that we will continue to partner with you in building young professionals for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to congratulate you, the finalists for this year's competition, and to say I agree completely with the president that all of you are winners. And to all you Youth Corps members who will find the army the right place for you to practice the principles, the procedures, and the art of leadership, I say good luck to all of you. And like we say in the Navy, I wish you all fair winds and following seas. Thank you all very much.